Hey guys, Sarah Sampson here, beauty influencer with Pharmacy USA and leader of Team Goods Mavens. I'm doing something a little bit different today because I feel like it needs to be talked about. And it's not really something that people talk about a lot. Probably because it's incredibly embarrassing for many. I know it is for me. And it's easier to sweep it under the rug and then watch those TV shows and be like, ew, they're nasty people. But I feel like this needs to be said. So I grew up in a home that was clean all the time. We cleaned every single day. We did dishes every day. We vacuumed several times a week. We cleaned the bathrooms several times a week. Took out the trash consistently. Mopped once a week. Cleaned out the refrigerator weekly. Like, we were on top of things, okay? We were clean. And if you walked into our home, everything looked clean, because it was. However, if you went down into the basement, you would see stacks of boxes, probably taller than me, you know, all through the basement, and there was like a path. There was a path, and it was only half the basement. It wasn't the whole thing, but it was that half the basement, floor to ceiling in boxes, and then there was a room filled with boxes, and we had like our laundry room down there and stuff like that. So like we were clean, but we had a really well hidden mess. I feel like this needs to be said, because people watch Hoarders and Hoarders Buried Alive, and they're always like, oh, but how did they get here? Let me tell you how I get here. So it starts with clutter. So I'm going to show you my house. I'm going to explain some things to you as we go, and I'm going to share you like how this happens. Okay, because it doesn't start as people like being nasty people. That's not how it starts whatsoever. It's not about someone being dirty. Sometimes when they start to deal with dementia and they have a hard time getting rid of things, it can lead to that. But a lot of times it's someone with ADHD or a compulsive disorder or an addiction problem or a collector. We're called collectors. That's all we really are. But what we collect doesn't necessarily make sense to people. And I remember I used to clean for the like the giveaway closet at my church, and I used to bring stuff home that they weren't going to give away. They were just going to donate it, and that's how I accrued a lot of stuff. And it was because, well, that's too good, you can't throw that away. It's like that pack rat mentality, like if it's good, you should use it. And that was really ingrained in me. So I'm just going to show you my house right now, because I got it halfway done, and I'm super proud of myself. But I want to show you something, because I feel like what I'm about to show you, it's super embarrassing, but it's also going to be incredibly eye-opening, okay? So this is my bathroom. You know, we just did laundry. These are clothes we only hang because we don't want them to shrink. And then you walk in and it's nice. It's clean, right? Looks good. Then we're going to move on. Here's my closet. I just cleaned this, so it looks good. But I want to show you something. Okay, so we've got clothes, obviously, shoes. But back here, behind said clothes and shoes, I've got instruments, I've got paint from when I did runs, I've got Xbox boxes, I've got a crock pot in here, toilet paper, random cereal, like, okay, I don't even know if you know where I'm going with this, but let's go. Then we've got our laundry room, nice and clean, but like, look, collections of games. So it starts with like a tiny collection. Like, I want my kids to have games to play. So it starts like that. Now here's our room. Now, like, walking in, this is what it looks like. Walking in, bed is made, things are neat, the clothes are put away, we don't have a bunch of crap all over the floor. Okay, but let me show you something. So sometimes hoarding does look like those big messes you see on TV, and sometimes hoarding looks like this. So here's my nightstand. You see that? I've got bed sheets, gift bags, a bin of who knows what under there. My bed is full. It's not that I don't have the clutter, it's that I'm really good at hiding it. Let me show you my office and my living room. Okay, so we just recently cleaned the living room. I've already finished it outside of like the ottoman. Let me show you this. It's not that we don't have the stuff, it's that we know how to hide the stuff. Oh no, we're gonna be going through that today. And I feel you know, people saw my post and they were like, no, there's no way. Okay, so I just finished these bookshelves. There is no way that you needed to like compare yourself to a hoarder and say that you could become one of them so easily. Even with the storage unit, you're not that bad. So here it is. Let me show you. This is literally, sorry, hold on. This is literally just from my bedroom, the living room and sunroom, and my closet, okay? I haven't even done the kids' room yet. I have not done my kitchen yet. I've not done the bathrooms yet. Let me show you. This is what hoarding looks like, okay? Because I want you to know, like, if you walked into my house a week ago, you would not have seen a mess. You still would have seen what looks to be a clean house. Like, we keep it clean. Of course, we got water bottles on the floor right now, but don't worry about those. But like, for all intents and purposes, our house is clean. The books are put away, the clothes are washed and put away, right? Let me show you this. Guys, 3 rooms, and this isn't even all of it. There's more over here. And my house was never a mess. But I'm telling you, that stuff didn't all fit on bookshelves. Those things did not all fit into a dresser and closet. I know it's really easy to hear someone say they're a hoarder and think you're going to walk into a huge mess. That's not always the case. I know for me, what ends up happening is I will clean some things out, and then well-intentioned people are like, oh, you homeschool, I have books for you. Or, oh, you have kids, I got hand-me-down clothes, I don't know if you need them, you can just get rid of them if you don't. But the problem is, it's not that I can just get rid of them if I don't need them. It's the part where, oh, junk. Now, a friend just gave me something, and I don't know how to tell them we don't need it. And once it's in the house, I get overwhelmed, and I don't know how to get rid of it. So I don't. I just tuck it away safely, and I put it somewhere where no one's going to see it. I'll forget it for a while, and then that happens. I'm sorry. That is literally what happens. My storage unit is the same way. It's mostly things we're going to be getting rid of when we get to it. I got to finish the house first. But keep that in mind. So, like, it may seem like a small deal to people to just push their things off on others, but some of us can't handle it. I'm one of those people. I can't handle it. Something deep inside me is like, well, they cherished this. They loved this enough that they didn't want to get rid of it. Like, they didn't want to throw it away. They didn't want to donate it. They wanted it to go to a home that it was going to be loved in. And then mentally, the idea of getting rid of something just shuts down. I can't do it. That mess in the hallway is going in my car. I'm donating it tomorrow, because if I don't, all of that stuff is going to find a new place in my house. And I know that sounds ridiculous because I just did all that hard work, but that's just how it is. I get overwhelmed, and it shuts people down. And I know I'm not the only one who deals with this. I know I'm not. So, like, when I said I'm a hoarder, my hoarding mess is going to bury me alive one day just like this, and people laughed, like I was serious. This is a big problem for me. This is something I deal with. Let me just show you for a second how badly I deal with this. So we have not 1, not 2, but like 4 sets of dishes. I have these ones that we bought for ourselves. These, I don't even know where we got them. I have all of these cups and teacups and bottles, and we use like none of them, okay? And then I have more. I'm not done yet. So I have another set of plates. I have more back here, and I have more up there. Because well-intentioned people gave us things, and they were like, these have been in our family for years. We thought you would like them. Here, you know. And at the time, I was like, that is super sweet. But then I felt the obligation to keep it at that point. We're 15 years later. Those dishes have been in my house for about 15 years. We only use none of those dishes, actually. We don't use any of those. We actually use plastic dishes for the kids. So I have all these things we don't even use. That's going to be one of my biggest things that I go through. And because I have a lot of kitchen gadgets too, we don't use. Well-intentioned people. So keep that in mind next time. Like, just because it doesn't look like a skunk and smell like a skunk doesn't mean it's not a skunk. Okay? I don't look like a hoarder. My house is always clean. I'm very meticulous about things being in the right place. But that doesn't mean Then in the background, I'm not losing my brain because my house is super cluttered, because I have all of this and all of this clogging up. And those clothes have been in my closet for years, never wear them. I don't know why I kept them. I moved them. I didn't even just keep them. I moved them from New York to North Carolina. And I don't even know why. So like, and let's be honest, I'm getting rid of all those books. Let me show you. I still have, there's a whole bookshelf here. There's 2 bookshelves there. There's another bookshelf over there. We're not hurting for books, I promise. And I'm not saying I have no sense of like nostalgia or anything, because 3/4 of this bookshelf, those are the little golden books from when we were kids. Those are some books I got from my sister. We got Winnie the Pooh books. And I have books on all the bookshelves from like when I was a kid. So let's not be like, oh, she just gets rid of anything. She has no emotions whatsoever. But at the same time, what does this stuff get me? What does having 15,000 books we don't read get me? What does having 4 garbage bags full of clothes that we haven't worn in 15 years almost get me? A huge mess that I have to move. A storage unit full of baby clothes that are as old as my oldest daughter. Some are even older, because there's hand-me-downs in there from both family and from friends that we had back home when we first had our daughter. They need boxes and boxes of clothes for Ella. Some of those clothes are upwards of like 25, 30 years old. And they're just sitting in my storage unit. So, next time you watch that show, like, keep in mind, yes, that is a reality, but it starts here. And it starts with that little mess in my closet. He's fine, don't worry about him. It starts with this mess hiding in my house, and it grows, and it grows some more until till the person gets to the point where the mess is so overwhelming they don't know what to do. They can't get rid of anything. And thankfully, like, I've come to a point in my life where I wanted to start 2021 really strong on a new foot, and it occurred to me, like, I get incredibly stressed out by the amount of things that get left out on the floor, that the kids don't put away, that there's nowhere to really put them. And it really came down to, I was keeping things we didn't need. I was keeping things we don't use. I was keeping things we haven't touched in forever. And for what? A little bit of nostalgia. Just a little bit. Or a little bit of guilt. Because that is a factor. It really is. So when someone gives you something, you always feel this sense of obligation to keep it, even if it's not even something that you love or brings you joy or you use, because you don't want to hurt their feelings. I am really big on that. I'm a people pleaser. I never want to hurt anyone's feelings. So I keep a lot of stuff that, I mean, I'm not even emotionally tied to, outside of my friend gave this to me. She's super special to me, and I never would want to hurt her feelings. That's literally all it is. So this year, that is what I'm working on. I hope you guys will stick with me through this journey, because I still have toys, kids' rooms, and clothes, and the storage unit to go through. And I'm going to be kind of sharing my journey as I go, because I feel like if I don't, I'll quit. I already took like a 5-day break from it, because it's like, that's overwhelming to me. That is very overwhelming. Let me just show you one more time. It's incredibly overwhelming, because I know all of this has to go in my car somewhere and go somewhere. And we live on the 3rd floor, you guys. That is a lot of work. So it's very, you need to stop. You're not getting that right now. Pick Daddy's head up. So anyway, I hope you stick with me through this journey. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of emotional work too. I'm not just getting rid of stuff as far as the things. I'm getting rid of, I feel like, on top of it, like, emotional baggage too. And I was telling my husband the other day, like, there's no reason I need to be owned by my stuff. And I feel like at this point, I'm not really owning, stop. No, I feel like I don't even own my stuff anymore. My stuff owns me. And it's going to be a huge step in 2021 to get rid of everything and kind of take ownership of my own life. And it's big and scary, and overwhelming, but I'm hopeful that this is going to be a really good change for us, because on top of it, we want to move in the spring, hopefully, and we don't want to carry a whole bunch of stuff we don't use and need, or ask friends to either. So, you know, I hope you stick with me. I hope you watch me through this journey. I am incredibly nervous to share this because it's embarrassing to me, that mess in my hallway. I've been looking at it for 3 days. It's totally ashamed, because I knew that when I joked about the hoarders thing the other day, last week, when I was cleaning, like how absolutely true it is. And one day I don't want to be this 80-year-old woman with dementia living in a house full of stuff that my kids end up having to deal with because I can't anymore. So, yeah, I don't even know why this makes me so emotional, but yeah. Anyway, that's what I came on to show you. You know, just keep in mind, like, when people, you know, what on that show, they do show you like the most extreme cases, but it doesn't always look like that. And it does get really overwhelming, and I can understand how they get there. And, you know, I kind of joked because it's sort of like watching my 600-pound life while trying to lose weight, but at the same time, it's different, because why they weigh 600 pounds may be different than why I weigh 250. You know what I mean? Where I feel like with the hoarding, it all kind of stems back to like your emotions, your mental state, more than anything, because there's this part of you that just wants to keep stuff. But I'm hoping this will be a really good example for my kids too, because they hang on to things they don't even use. We've got magic tracks they haven't touched in forever, gears, which are like these little, they look like gears, but you put them together and you can spin them and make like mechanical things, which are really cool, but they don't use them. And like all these other little toys and stuff. So this is gonna be a process. But instead of ending up on TV, I thought I would do it by myself, share it with you guys, keep you involved. And again, like, when you see that show, it's really easy to think that anyone who hoards has a really nasty house. And for us, that's really not the case. It's just, I'm really good at hiding things, and I know there's other people like me who are really good at hiding things. But when we start to clean out, it looks like this. It's so bad. I'm so embarrassed. Like, that's literally 3 rooms. That's my living room, my closet, and bedroom. And yeah, sunroom. So it's really only 2 rooms. It's this room right here, and this room, and my closet. And like I said, it looks clean, right? But I've got stuff hidden under the bed still that I'm so overwhelmed by. So anyways, UPS is here, so I'm gonna go check that because I got a sign. But thanks for joining. I'm gonna keep you guys up to date on the process as I go, and I hope you'll stick with me through this journey. So thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Love you guys. Bye.